Danny Alvarez with Behind the Gloves in association with our betting partner BUSR here in Las Vegas with former featherweight champion of the world Shakur Stevenson. Shakur just got done with the press conference, first time facing off with your opponent. One of the things that got me said I'm not losing to a cop. You said you just found that out, right?
Yeah, I just found that out when they just said it on the, it threw me off kind of when they just said it when we did the press conference. I didn't know he was a cop.
Now, obviously, you've wanted all those big fights for a while now. You know, this is for the interim belt. You know, once you get through with Saturday, not to look past your opponent, but there's plenty of big names in store for you. Jamel Herring, Oscar Valdez, Jojo Diaz, even though his next fight's at 35. What fight do you eye the most? I know that you
Valdez. Valdez is the fight I want. Valdez got to happen next. It's on Top Rank to also give me the Valdez fight because of the fact that Lomachenko and Tio squared off when Tio kept begging for Lomachenko. So I think if y'all deliver Lomachenko to Tio, I think it's only right that you deliver Valdez to me.
Were you surprised of Valdez upsetting Berchelt? Because at least in the eyes of many, in the eyes of Vegas, he was the underdog going into that fight. Were you surprised not just of him beating him, but the way he beat Miguel Berchelt?
Yeah, it definitely was a shocking performance. A lot of things, like, it's stuff that people don't know. I was supposed to be fighting Berchelt at the end of the year, for sure. Like, that was supposed to be lined up. Me and Berchelt were supposed to fight. Valdez ended up beating him. Now, why not me and him at the end of the year?
I mean,
don't make no sense.
Right, no, absolutely. And forget, just because he beat Berchelt, you're supposed to fight him for the featherweight title.
I was the mandatory at 126.
You know, he vacated, moved up. Obviously, you got that title, so it only makes sense. Do you feel that, I don't want to use the word ducking because obviously everybody's fighters, they step in that ring, and I don't want you to feel like you disrespecting anybody, but do you feel that maybe him and his team are perhaps avoiding you?
That might be a better word to use, because I don't think that Valdez is scared.
Right.
I don't think he's scared of me.
It's just the risk.
Yeah, it's the risk of fighting Shakur Stevenson. And if you get in there and get embarrassed and look bad, I don't think he want to go through that. That's all. So we got to force him into it. I think Top Rank, they forced Lomachenko into it. Lomachenko was willing to make the fight happen. Valdez need to be willing to make the fight happen. I'm about to try to press the action as much as possible.
Now, I know you're not one to really call out fighters, but once you get that victory Saturday night, I mean, don't you think maybe in front of the world on ESPN Live, you know, on a Saturday night, maybe you should?
That's what I'm calling up on Saturday. I got a shirt made for him. That's what I want to fight.
Now, gotta ask, just because this fight is for the WBO interim and Jamel is the WBO champion, just quickly, your thoughts on his performance against Carl Frampton, and secondly, if Valdez can't happen, what do you think of that fight with the Jamel Herring for the WBO strap?
I mean, that's just the next best fight available, but I'm not impressed with his last performance with Carl Frampton. At the end of the day, Frampton was a 118-pounder. Jamel came from the 141. He was at the Olympics at 141. That was his weight. Came down, now he's fighting 130. We're talking about a 118-pounder building up. He's building up to make 130. And you're talking about somebody who's dropping down, coming down from probably 150, maybe even 160. Like, you never know where he's coming up from. So it's like, I'm not too impressed with that performance. It's the bigger man versus the little man that at the end of the day, they both 35, 34. They both passed their primes, and I don't give him too much off of that.
Did you, most people thought he would win, but not by stoppage. Did you think, were you even surprised by him stopping and hurting Frampton the way he did?
I mean, maybe, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's boxing. You never know.
Right.
You never know what could happen. So, Jamel just had his best night that night, and Frampton tiny and can't do nothing about it, and past his prime. And I think Jamel's preparation probably was better.
Do you think maybe Frampton was looking past Jamel because he was already talking about a fight with you in Belfast, which would have been huge, but do you think that he looked past Jamel, or do you think it was just the bigger man won that night?
Nah, I think he did look past Jamel too. Jamel had a bad performance the fight before that. with that small Akendo dude.
Right.
And I think he did look past you, man.